And one of my favorite contemporary gospel artists, God is Working by Akese Brimpon. You just have to check some of his videos on YouTube, and you get to find that he does great work, especially ministering to many churches and God's faithful across the country. But in the meantime, though, also dovetails into our motivation this morning about faith and how we know that 24 hours later after that tragedy that befell the playing team as well as the management body of Kumasi Asante Kotoko on their way to Kumasi, their home base, after honoring that match against Inter Allies here in Accra, we have to say that we just have to pick up the pieces and move on. But more importantly, we know that here we've dedicated this show today to the whole of Kumasi Asante Kotoko Football Club, but also the entire football fraternity, and we say that we empathize with them. And we know that there's a lot more faith, Mama V. Good morning to you.
Good morning. You know, after what you've said, the latter part of your, of which I don't know what else to say than to just say that you can send us messages here on the show today. But maybe, you know, to fit properly into that conversation as well, we're talking family time this morning with Amos Kevin Annan. And when we talk family time today, we want to take the conversation to a place where we probably, you know, haven't done before. How many of us really as a family sit down to discuss which schools we want our children to go, for instance? Do we talk?
I haven't posted a school on them already.
See? How, you know, when a mother-in-law or father-in-law is coming in, you know, do we have a conversation? Do we have a proper conversation, or we just say, oh, and every mommy bow, you know? So today we want to take the conversation to a place that it can be beneficial to all of us. We're talking family time. And there's also this revelation that TV and the internet today is not making people actually live real family time. We're watching TV together, but we're living other people's lives. It's fiction.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Lives that the characters themselves don't live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it will be good with Amos Kevin and we hit the streets as well. Zarina hits the streets, so we'll find out what people are actually saying. And it's Youth Skills Day today. And the theme, interestingly, is on transitioning from school or training to work. So it'll be a great conversation. Hannah Odame has put together something for us. She's been going around a lot of the times to meet this day. And so she's got a great package on this as well. And hopefully Maxwell Agbaba can also step out. And let's see if we can have a conversation with some national service personnel. It's absolutely possible to finish national service and not get into the proper workforce. But on the back of that, I want to ask, do you remember your first job after school? What was your first job? Your very first job after school?
I was in GBC. I was just a journalist.
Okay.
I just did a transition straight away from journalism school.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're one of the lucky ones. So let us know what your first real job, your first job after school was. Send us a message. I did a lot of work while still in school, so I don't know. I was working in schooling. Yeah. But I think my first paid job will probably be Sky Power FM, where I got 50 Ghana cedis a month. Yeah.
50 Ghana
It was
cedis.
500,000.
My first job paid me 35 Ghana cedis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then I moved up to 56 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
But at the time we called it, you are not too old, so let me just tell you. At the time we called it 350,000 Ghana cedis.
That's a lot of money today, man.
Well, at the time as a bachelor, and then they gave me a proposal.
Yeah.
560,000 Ghana cedis. Damn. I was elated.
Today, that's like lunch.
No, but the money devalued after 2 years. There was no money after all.
Yeah.
By 2003, Charlie, that money was small.
Me, I think from 50
couldn't pay
CDs.
for rent. It couldn't pay for.
50
it
CDs
paid
still
nothing.
at Sky. I went to 80 Ghana CDs. But the 30 was top up. It was a hand top up. 50 would go to the bank.
No,
and 30
it's
was
because
top up.
they didn't, you know, tax would have to go into.
No, not exactly.
For your
but I'm
good
not
work.
sure I can share it.
For your good work.
I'm not sure I can share
I
it.
know why. You know, when you're expensive, lots of things come to you.
No, not because of that.
Right,
I was
so
extremely hardworking.
We were talking about youth.
Yeah.
So
there's something on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Let's just go straight into the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Graphic. Youth get $10 million to grow business ventures. Revelation from the president. That story on page 3 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Local company installs subsea infrastructure at Sankofa Fields. Robbers kill policeman at La Paz, injure one. Sports minister visit Kotoko players in hospital. GES, US aid to launch reading agenda in 110 districts. That's also another story in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let's straight away. Page 3. Story says President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has launched a national entrepreneurship and innovation plan with a seed capital of $10 million to support the youth to grow their business ventures. The plan is also intended to encourage the youth to come up with creative ideas that can be developed into enterprises. The seed money is expected to be leveraged to raise about $100 million from private sources and public organizations to fund the program. We can have a conversation around this someday, because I really want to know how people can actually benefit from this. Okay, there's this story that came up later in the day that happened at La Paz. Very sad incident there where a policeman was shot. This is daytime robbery. Papa says a policeman was shot dead while another sustained serious injury when two suspected armed robbers attacked them at La Paz in Accra yesterday. The two officers, whose names were not readily known, are said to have made an attempt to stop a robbery operation at Las Palmas, a popular food joint at La Paz. In the process, the officers were shot. One of them, who was shot at a close range, died instantly, while the other is currently receiving treatment at the police hospital. The incident occurred a few meters away from the La Paz main traffic light around 1 p.m. This is not 1 at night. This is 1 in the afternoon. So you'd see the picture that the Daily Graphic brings with this story in page 16. The two suspected robbers running away, leaving behind their motorbikes after shooting the policeman or the policemen. Let's see if you can actually get a close-up of this. We will try and get it to you, but there are other stories here. NDC constitutes committees to implement Kwesi Botwe's reports. That's in the politics session, but this one that I'm telling you about is here. Is here. Let's see if we can position. How else can I do it? We'll try and see if we can get, yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, there we go. So you see two guys here. Yeah. All right, and then the motorbikes that they were on. Can't we identify these two guys who did the shooting, who carried out the shooting? Hopefully this will be very helpful to the security agencies so we can cause some arrests. Wow, but this is so daring.
Yeah.
Wow, we don't see this happening in Ghana like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not just
but it shows you the extent to which now, I guess, the bravado with which these groups now are working.
Yeah. A bit of this other story, also on page 16, says the US aid Partnership for Education will soon roll out a program to encourage reading using local languages in 110 districts throughout the country. 1 district, 1 reading. How about that? That's just my own. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Galka rallies support for Kotoko accident victims. The Ghana League Clubs Association is rallying for national support for Kumasi Asante Kotoko following last Wednesday's tragic accident at Nkoko to make them both physically and psychologically ready to compete in the Ghana Premier League. And I listened to the Galka chairman on radio yesterday, made some revelations. You know, some of the teams, some of the clubs, Roland, they actually even travel in sprinter buses to go and play games. I
heard that yesterday. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Not shocked, but surprised.
And then the minister also visited on the back page of the Daily Graphic. There's other stories there. Sports minister visits injured Kotoko players and officials. I think one of the things that came out from that visit from the minister is the fact that there's some kind of talks going on with STC to see how they can support the clubs with proper buses, really. So pray for accident victims. Also a call from former President John Dramani Mahama. He's asked Ghanaians to remember victims of the Kumasi Asante Kotoko accident in prayers. So, you know. All right, that's it for the graphic. There are other stories in the paper, actually. Roland?
All right, so we have a couple of stories also splashed on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. We have government sets up $100 million fund. We're told there's a seed money of some $10 million as well. And you have the presidents there in wax prints. Great looking man. Great looking guy, you know. President Akufo-Addo on the front page for business startups, job creation. That's the intention of the fund. And the fund, well, the story on page 16 is named as the National Entrepreneurship and Innovations Plan, you know, for which we have the fund. We also have two cops shot at La Paz. The Mamavi giving you a vivid description of what happened there in that story. That's captured not only on the daily graphic, but also by the front page of the Ghanaian Times. One dead, one hospitalized. We have 302 Ghanaians face deportation from U.S. Well, we already have Diaspora Summit taking place, so don't worry. Immediately they are deported. We'll come and attend briefing, orientation at the summit, how to do proper acclimatization back into the Ghanaian society. I know it's not easy for them, but Charlie, Ghana no hard like that. We will manage. Mamavi is managing, so.
Charlie,
myself,
we all the manage.
Myself too, I'm managing.
We all the manage.
So nobody get pulled. Kotoko in fatal accident, one dead, players, coach hospitalized. We also have government Chinese companies signed $4 billion MOU for development projects. And we also have the story on the back page, President Akufo-Addo, ex-President Mahama, others show sympathy, and those are the stories we have. Okay? Let me do quickly the Daily Dispatch newspaper. On the front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper, I have Ashanti MPP chairmanship race. Kukufu is no match. He will cry, won't to me.
Why did he fight?
Oh.
For chairmanship.
Oh, Mr. Kukufu, why do you...
Chairman 1. So which of them will be the Chairman 1?
No, but the Chairman 1 is already there. He'll be retained. You don't think
that's
he'll
all
be
to
retained?
me.
Oh, he'll be retained. Chairman, good morning. Tina Supin. So we have ICT in Ashanti, Central and Greater Accra, and Kotoko in an accident, and those are the stories. We are back page. I told the chairmanship, General Secretary.
But he says he will cry. Like how? How can he say that? He will cry.
No, but Chairman won't to me. Oh, Charlie, Chairman won't to me. Chairman one day.
So his name is exactly what he's trying to tell you. Won't to me.
Won't to me. Chairman one day won't to me. No. Chairman Kukufu. Anyway, so we have Daily Dispatch, Daily Ghana newspaper, and they have the picture there. Robbers kill cop at Abekala Pass. We also have government grabs $4 billion fresh Chinese deal. Hey, Charlie, money they come wow.
You and money.
God is working. I can say the day I will
money.
get money. Probe Mills death, says family head, and then 2 die in Kotoko bus crash. Tabia picks doctorate degree.
Source. Source.
Let me give you the
source of the
institution.
doctorate.
Doctorate
but did I read a story somewhere? Maybe
the
it was just a headline.
makes it says got the thing from the Ternopil National Economic University in Ukraine. Congratulations to you, Dr. Christian Kwesiagyemang.
Wait, see, that's it. I think I read something somewhere yesterday that
from the national accreditation.
You don't have to if it's an honorary degree, you can't use it as a title.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Charlie, one of the universities you give me.
But Roland, I'm interested in the story. Probe Mills's death, says family head. I think a bit of that would help. Okay.
We're told that the maternal family of the late President John Evans Atta-Mills has said it will support any attempt by the Akufo-Addo-led New Patriotic Party government to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death of the late head of state. We know President Mills died suddenly on Tuesday, July 24, 2012, when he was preparing to contest for a second term in office. Since then, details about what caused his death are still shrouded in secrecy. Okay, we're told.
All right. Okay, I've got the Finder newspaper.
Oh, I won't finish.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. Center spread.
Center spread. It's always called News One. It used to be a news paper in itself.
Split your property with me. Odate Lamte, ex-wife, wills in court.
Well, but we know that there's a court, so this is just an appeal.
So is that the ex-wife grabbing him from behind in the paper?
Yes, at the time.
That's the ex-wife.
At the time, yeah. Great lovers. Ah.
Charlie, shouldn't she just move on?
So this is no dinner.
Shouldn't she just move on?
Huh?
Shouldn't she just move on?
I think so. Just about Charlie. It's fighting for survivor.
Well, there's something also called integrity.
No, we'll see how that goes.
Well,
integrity.
Okay, so now I can do the Finder, right?
Yes, you can.
The Finder newspaper, front page of the Finder. Government unveils $10 million fund, the entrepreneurship and innovation project to be scaled up to $100 million. This has made almost all the papers, the stories in all the papers almost. Court adjourns GJA suit to July 26. NSS 2017-2018, that's the National Service Scheme registration date, has been postponed. Over 1 million pupils benefits from USAID early grade reading program. Lack of laws on competition threatens Ghanaian media existence. And then, okay, so a bit of some of the front page headlines. On page 2, Accra High Court has adjourned the hearing of the motion filed by Lloyd Evans and 3 other journalists against the entire executives of the Ghana Journalists Association and the 2017 Elections Committee to July 26. The court on the next hearing would determine whether to strike out the release and pleadings filed by the plaintiffs. Also, injunction against law school dismissed, but Roland gave a hint. Is there going to be an early action in court?
There is.
Because at 10 a.m., the exam will begin.
There is.
Yeah? There is, eh?
There is, yes.
Okay. So we will probably touch base with Joseph Akable. He should
know
if something solid.
I'm told there is.
Has been filed. What time do the courts open? Is it 8?
Well, 8 o'clock no more. That's an injunction cry the unya maybe Judge Krabit Masan with the fee. Yeah.
Okay, you. Okay, there's also a policy intervention critical in bridging inequality. I think there was a story, yeah. Here it is. The management of the National Service Scheme has postponed the dates for the start of the 2017-2018 National Service registration from Monday 17 July 2017 to Monday 24 July 2017. They say this is to afford ample time to all stakeholders in the registration process to adequately prepare for the registration. A statement signed by Yusuf Mustafa, acting executive director of the scheme. All right, this story: police officer killed in broad daylight robbery, an incident that we can't. You can't even begin to imagine that this happened right here in Accra at 1 p.m. Tamale MCA to meet Facebook founder in U.S. investment tour. Roland would like this. He probably would want to go with Musa Superior, who's a Tamale MCA. Or is he still nominee? He's still a nominee?
Yeah. No, I think he's been approved.
The Metropolitan Chief Executive of Tamale,
one of the early ones,
Idrisu Musa Superior, because the picture here has the nominee attached, so that was what was confusing.
Maybe they haven't convened the assembly endorsement.
He has arrived in Washington, D.C. For an investment tour. His decision to tour the United States was preceded by a similar one he undertook in Ghana, where he had positive response from corporate Ghana and business institutions. Our friends from Tamale, I'm reading it a bit longer because of you. Musa Superior's main reason for the tour is to engage business institutions, individuals, and strategic institutions that can mobilize resources for the development of the Tamale metropolis. But he's young. You know, when I heard his name, Musa Superior, I thought it was like some old man or something like that. Okay. All right, so the rest of the story is in here. Hopefully something really good will come out of this tour being undertaken by the NSCA.
Okay. Good morning to you, the DC for Solar.
Solar Tuna Kauba.
Already you have the honorable title, so it's been sent to me. Honorable Nawal Tamimu. And this one is from your driver, my good friend, Mr. Jakpa, who keeps giving me credit. Okay, thank you very much. You know my network.
Roland, do the newspapers. Stop soliciting
please send
for
some
phone
today.
Credits.
We will love you and give you more messages.
Dispatch. We've got the Daily Dispatch newspaper.
I've done
That's
it
the paper that you've done the dispatch. Why lucky?
Now let's do the online portal. Okay, so let's start online portal. Okay.
Oh, new application filed to stop law school exams hours to start of papers.
Next story.
No, we want to click on that. We want a little more detail on that. So we're going to click on the story and see if we can share
Okay, in the meantime, as the story is ready, let's go to the next whilst we look at that.
No, we open the story, but we read some messages.
So we have Road Safety Management Services Limited has urged motorists to be cautious on the road following Wednesday's tragic Kotoko team bus accident. That's a good one. Next one.
I think that was yesterday. I said the vehicle was in motion. The MTTD boss at Nkoko also said it was in motion. I think later in the day they said the vehicle was not in motion. It was a stationary vehicle.
What happened was that that account about stationary was corroborated by the players and the money of those who survived.
So it was, because when I heard there was another account that they said
I've gone through similar experiences before. You know my accident.
They overtook a vehicle.
Yeah.
And then this car was just there. Okay. So with just a few hours to the start of the Ghana Law School entrance examination today, a group of lawyers are racing against time to serve a fresh notice on the General Legal Council in a last-ditch attempt to stop the exams from going ahead. The lawyers filed a fresh application at the Human Rights Court in Accra late Thursday afternoon, shortly after an Accra High Court threw out an injunction application which sought to stop the exams from coming off. The new application, however, is yet to be served on the General Legal Council, regulators of legal education here in Ghana. But with the exam scheduled to start at 10 o'clock today, the determined lawyers tell JoyNews' Favor Nuno they are hoping to quickly serve the council and halt the exams. It will be good.
And we're told the gentleman is called Eric Delano Alifu. Eric Delano Alifu.
It's full.
True.
It's not you.
As for you. One of the Anglo woman speaking well like this. Some 11 students.
In Anglo, your name is your identity.
Yeah. Let's look at
okay. Other stories
also.
Okay. Health Ministry unsure when 100 million Ghana cedis NHIA debts will be settled. We're in trouble, right? Moving on, police call for public support to grab La Paz cop killers. I am not composed to write law school exams. That's a petitioner. Says he wasn't in the right frame of mind psychologically to write the exams. We'll see what happens to the exams today. Learn from Ekufuado's modesty. Ewuku chides whining deputy minister. All right, also on the page, Hayford apologizes, withdraws, quote, stupid parliaments, unquote, comments. We'll see if he'll be hauled before the privileges committee.
He's apologized. Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
That's in an interview.
But I'm sure
Evans Mensah interviewed him on Joy FM yesterday.
I would want to show him where.
Asked, power lies. Connecting Ghana's legal education to the world of business. That's a piece I think will be very helpful if you make time to read. Other stories on myjoyonline.com that you can check out. Let's support Majid, not criticize him. That's according to John DeMello, still coming out of that interview on Tuesday. Baumia confidence of improved financial services sector as direct savings and loans. That's the road safety management services appealing for caution on the road following Kotoko bus accident. This is coming on the back of the halt towing.
This is why I love Mama View Sabwaji sometimes.
So listen, I think we have to revive this conversation.
Please, let's go up, let's go up, let's go up.
Do we continue to halt, or we at least test this towing program, you know? All right. More stories on myjoyonline.com. If you missed any of our programming here on Joy News, you can also always catch up. We've got videos right there. Just go to myjoyonline.com and you can have access. Let's do City FM quickly. Roland?
Right, City FM online, and we have certain when NHIS arrears will be cleared.
Is it certain or uncertain?
I said uncertain.
Did he? He said certain. Okay.
Please confirm for me. What did I say? Enemies are not God. Natural security to probe maltreatment.
Why are you looking at me? You refer to me as your enemy, and then you tend to look at me. Finish the thing.
You know, people keep asking why I keep fighting. I said we don't fight too. We so know we did. Kesley Hayford cited for possible contempt of parliament. I listened to that interview. It was on.
Said it was passion.
It was passion.
It was emotion.
The things we say when we are passionate, whining and all. Akufo-Addo sets up $100 million fund for entrepreneurs, innovators. Congratulations to you. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Is that access?
I'm sure that all of us as youth with businesses, when we can access some of those. So let people
begin to access. But there was something.
We have businesses, so
there was another,
you know I'm a youth.
There was some seed money that was sent to Yes. You remember?
50 million. But yeah. President Akufo-Addo, congratulations to you. I love this initiative.
Ghana to set up mission in Kuwait to check abuse of women.
Business. Go and take some of the money.
That's it for City FM Online. Let's do the BBC. The Africa page. Rwanda killing suspects without trial. Rwanda, quotes, killing suspects without trial. Human Rights Watch accuses Rwandan authorities of summarily executing at least 37 people without taking them through any legal processes. Other stories there, but there's a story of interest I had on Rooney Mania grips East Africa. Hey. Yeah, they love the fact that
but you know why they're in Africa is because the Kenyan mobile money firm, multinational firm, is sponsoring Everton.
Oh, okay.
So they are compelled.
Hey, but that thing, okay. Because you see, me, I didn't even get the reason they were there. I was only crazy
you thought
about
they loved Africa.
They went to play a game.
Oh. Let's do
this other story about, you remember we've had conversations and incidents of acid attacks in Ghana, but when you hear one that is happening in the UK and it's becoming alarming, you kind of, oh, okay, this issue is not just limited here. 5 acid attacks in 90 minutes in East London have Scotland Yard scrambling to find the riders of 2 of the guys who did this. They say this is kind of like a coordinated attempt. But this, what I actually wanted to
you wanted us to look for the report?
Something else.
Let's go back and search it.
No, we can't do that now here. We'll probably will put that together.
Give me your money.
Just the fact that...
your contribution.
The fact that this is not the first time, there was a model...
Please keep contributing, We just revived our this week.
Are you okay?
So
Roland, just in connection with this, the other story that I wanted to share, which we were supposed to play.
Is this the Africa incident?
No, this is not. This is the UK, the London acid attacks. The fact that there was this model who was also celebrating her birthday, and then somebody, splashed acid on her. So this is not the first time. It's actually
big name model.
No, not a big name model. So that was actually compiling everything.
These are terrorist incidents or just coordinated?
They haven't said so. Okay. They haven't said so.
And the models incidents,
the motives
not
of
just
these
a domestic
people.
problem?
No, because this was in a nightclub. Has happened in a nightclub. But we'll bring you all that later on here on the show. We're on till 9, so we have a lot of time to do other things. I want to say thank you to Mr. Frank Kwache, CEO of Dolphin Finance, for hosting me yesterday and giving us all those financial tidbits, particularly on our little money moments, our piggy bank, and saving and staying consistent and all that. I hope that if you watched it, it's very helpful. We'll have another conversation very soon on retirement, because he says that's a conversation that we hardly do not have.
Retirement. Are you planning for your retirement?
Yeah, and he says you have to plan for a retirement as even as 20 years.
What have you been doing?
Personally, I'll tell you when we do that conversation. But one of the other things that I'm also asking is, what was your first job? What was your first job after school? Share that with us. And somebody says, my first day at work was on 14th February 2002 at the Christ the King Preparatory School, Aguna Swedro. My first salary was 4 Ghana cedis. Okay, we've come far. We've come far. But this one is on the robbery. If armed robbers are killing security, what will happen to the ordinary people? It's very sad. So keep sending us those messages. We'll love to receive messages from you and then share, particularly on the job. On the job. Okay. Gideon in Ashaman also sent us a message. Says, I want to thank the First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca, for the construction of the MB units at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. I'm sure she would go down as the best First Lady we ever had. Gideon in Ashaman actually starts with, I want to thank Joy News and the First Lady.